Soil Scout presents From the Field.
I'm Antti Koskela, the superintendent here in Kytäjä Golf in Finland, close to the nice Kytäjä Lake. We run the operations here on 2 courses, 36 holes of good golf. We would like to be one of the top golf courses in the Nordics. So the challenge is huge. There's the really nice golf courses around Nordics in Sweden, Denmark, especially. So that's why there's a nice good challenge. I'd say that the main objective is always to go through the winter. That's the challenge in Finland. Might be snow up to 4 to 5 months here. So getting the turf and grass healthy throughout the year to get the good playing conditions throughout the year as well. So we are trying to get the best data out of what's happening here. So controlling the moisture, temperatures, know what the temperature is, how much rain we get. So getting the data from the golf course, and then we've changed from traditional mowers. We're mainly using lightweight autonomous robots at the moment. Let's say on 1st of May to somewhere around mid-September would be our main season. Actually, what determines the next season is always kind of what happens on after 15th of September. So once we can control the conditions throughout the winter, then we know that the next season is going to be more or less a success. Let's go and have a look at the very end of the northwest course. It's a bit of a Jurassic Park drive. So I call the car my office. So there's like a, let's say, 1.5 miles as the bird flies from the one corner to another. And then, as you may see, the cart path is not always the straightest. So with the golf cart, it takes a bit of time to go from place to another. I love the scenery every day. There is so many places to take a picture. I'm not sure how many. Like maybe in office jobs takes a picture every day because it just looks so nice. And I think it's the best job in the world when everything is good. And then on some occasions it might be not quite, maybe not the opposite, but quite close at least. At least here we might have 5 months of snow cover, and sometimes there is something we can't control. Maybe a disappointing, like the whole crew might do a really good job, do some extra hours shoveling snow or slush or whatever, and then sometimes there is the conditions are so difficult that there is 0% chance of success.
Hi, my name is Cote Wolcik. I'm the assistant superintendent here at Kytäjä on the southeast course specifically. I'm originally from a small town in Massachusetts, Salisbury, about 45 minutes north of Boston. I've been working golf maintenance since I was 18, so now going on 13 years. Started as a greenkeeper and now have become an assistant here and hopefully one day become a superintendent. I've been here specifically in Finland for 3 years now, going on my 3rd year actually. And before that, I was fortunate and have been able to work for some incredible golf courses. So course in Minnesota for 1.5 years, North Oaks Golf Club, which is 20 minutes north of St. Paul, capital of Minnesota. And then most recently, I was living in Lake Tahoe area, Reno, working in California at Martis Camp, top 200 club in the US. Hosted the USGA Senior Am in 2023, my last year there before moving to Finland. So just some incredible golf courses, incredible people, and really fortunate to be here now and have that experience in the past in the US. It's been quite the journey. So this is my dog. Her name is Kaila. She's American, just like I am. I brought her over from the US. So She's 7 years old, Border Collie Blue Heeler. I like to give her the title as she's the wildlife manager and director of team morale here. So she's with me every day in the cart, at the maintenance hall with the guys. She loves it, as you can see. She likes the free food and all the attention and chasing any annoying birds off the golf course. So she's one of a kind, and I love spending time with her. So it's like the perfect job, perfect setting to have the dog.
So here we're on the 14th green at Kytäjä on the southeast specifically, and this is one of the greens where we have our Soil Scout sensors in the green. This green has the Happi 100, so that's the sensor with the oxygen sensor in it as well. So we have it here on one of the lowest points of our green. With the data that we get from the sensor, we have had this sensor in the ground for just about 2 years. I think this winter will be 2 years continuously. So we have data from 2 years, winter, spring, summer, fall. Now day to day with that data, we look into our moisture. Do we water? Do we not water on a daily basis? And if we have a rain and the moisture is really, really high, are we going to mow? Are we going to roll? Or what will we do with the conditions of the green? Oxygen. This goes into like, do we need to aerate or do we not aerate? And then soil temperature, again, like if we're going to do any seeding or any maintenance like that, fertilizing, seeding, do we have the temperatures? Do we have correct conditions to make these decisions? We're not going out just to do things, to do them. We're taking the data and making the best decisions that we have with the data every single day. That's the mark on it. Just in case we do aerate, we won't hit it and then lose all of our data if we break it. So that's not good.
So this was the 14th green. Now let's go to another great place on the golf course.
So here we are on the 18th green at Kytäjä, another Soil Scout on the screen as well. So one of the things we didn't mention earlier, we talked about our summer and why we have them for summer, but also we have these in winter as well, 24/7, 365. In winter, that's kind of our slow time, but we do some maintenance, green, snow removal, keep the paths clear in case we need to see things, how they look. Soil Scout gives us that data as well. So oxygen, moisture, and temperature. Winter, same thing. So do we have frozen soil or not? Because if it's not frozen, we're not gonna be able to do work. What's the oxygen level if there's ice? Do we have proper gas exchange or not? If the oxygen level is dropping, we're gonna have to remove and take advantage to get rid of the ice and snow. And moisture, there could be a time when it's really, really dry, no rain, no snow, we have to water, because we could lose grass in the winter as well and from being too dry. So having these in the ground all year helps us make these decisions. So one of the biggest things, like we've spoke before, is our moisture levels. Water management is always important, and that affects our decisions. So one of the greatest things about Soil Scout is knowing kind of, what is going on underneath the grass, like what can't we see. So when you come and look, you can see all these spikes here that we've had big rain events. And early this week, we got about 60, 70 mil of rain. So we can see our numbers spike from 14% all the way up to 20 a couple days later. Now, when this happened, we could tell our greens were really, really wet, really, really wet. Our temperatures were really low because of the rain, and our oxygen also really dropped really well. So we're kind of getting into that, like, not unhealthy category, but we're dealing with stress factors on the grass. So some of the things, like I know for a fact that we did, like we were going to roll greens on that day, and it rained 23 mil on one day. So like we didn't roll, we'd stayed off the grass, stayed off the turf as best as we can to let the turf recover and keep it healthy. So we have we maintain our product and maintain the high level that we hold for ourselves. I really like just about this is just knowing where we're at all times, with having data 24 hours a day. I'm getting data, and it's just very helpful, and I find it really interesting, even just looking at the oxygen, like really giving the points, like, okay, the ground is really wet, less oxygen, less of a healthy environment for the turf. And also it's really cool, I like to see because you can play with, whether you want 2 years of data, 1 day, 1 month, what we're looking at currently. I really like seeing also the ebbs and flows of the day, the temperature going up and down, and your oxygen levels going up and down depending on your water and depending on the environment conditions. So it just really, it's interesting for me, and it really proves that, of course, we know this as turf managers, but that we maintain a living thing every day. And I think people tend to forget that we have to deal with nature, we have to deal with grass that is alive, and it's just another challenge that we have to deal with, but it's really cool to have the data and the science behind. Soil Scout gives us excellent data in winter as well. One of the things that we look at again is oxygen and temperature. So if we see that we have frozen soil, because once we lose the oxygen level and we have ice and there is no gas exchange between soil and air, that's also a situation where we're going to have to take the ice away or snow away, because if the plant is under ice too long, it will more or less suffocate and die as well. So gonna use our data to the best of our ability and make the decisions, as they're needed.
My name is Jukka Koivu. I'm the CEO of Kytäjä Golf, and I've been working here for 7 years. Before that, I worked actually a completely different environment. I worked in the banking business for 25 years, and then also 4 years at Rovio Entertainment, which is the home of Angry Birds. I set the goal for us, it was 2020, and the goal was to be one of the best golf resorts in Northern Europe. And now based on the rankings today, we are actually the best in Northern Europe as a golf resort, and the idea is not to stop there, but to make it even better and better, and there is a long-term plan to get more accommodation here, which makes this more look like a resort. It's already a resort, but making it much bigger, and quality is everything. So we are not selling any discounts. We are selling only quality. In order to be one of the best resorts in Northern Europe, you need to be very careful when selecting partners. So the partners also need to have a high ambition, and they need to offer something that we need in order to get there where we are trying to go. That's one of the reasons that Schetelig has been our partner for several years. At the moment we are doing bunker renovation, where Schetelig has a big role in it, and I also always prefer a long-term partnership. So we are not changing partners every year. The idea is to have really a long-term partnership and mutual goal. In order to move forward, data is everything. We really need to know, not just guessing, and to help on the greenkeeping side. We, for example, now have been using Soil Scout for a while and really help us to understand what needs to be and what is not needed to do.
From the field by Soil Scout.